You are welcome to Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids, a series of cautionary tales for lovers of scream. I call this tale The Watermelon Baby. Once upon a time, in a world beyond the seas, there was a country that was dying of thirst. For years, politicians had ignored the scientists' warnings about global warming, and now it was plagued by a terrible drought. Rivers ran dry, crops failed, and any child who did not wear sun cream shriveled to the size of a raisin. As the sun beat down day after day, the government passed laws to preserve the dwindling water supply. Save water, they said. No swimming pools, no water features, no hose pipes. But as the water crisis got worse, their advice grew more and more alarming. Save water. Drink from the loo. In a green-gardened house in Waterbrook lived two selfish sisters, Kitty and Winnie Camel. The most important thing in each girl's life was herself, which meant that thinking about others never crossed their minds. They ignored all the warnings. It's not our problem, they said as they cleaned their bikes.
It's everyone else who has to save water, not us.
They continued to wash their clothes every night, their hair every morning, and to take 3 baths a day, because they wanted to.
Look at this water bill.
Their mother tried to curb their wastefulness, but met with no success.
You're so boring. It doesn't matter if I leave the water running while I brush my teeth. It's only a little dribble.
If everyone left their taps running, we'd soon have no water at all. All the little dribbles would add up to one big stream, and it would all go to waste.
But they don't, so it isn't. So push off,
screamed Kitty, cooling her face with a spray of pure spring water.
Mine's bigger,
smirked Winnie.
Lovely.
Where did you get that? I bought it, said Mr. Camel. She said she needed it. Kitty and Winnie's father was every bit as stupid as his daughters.
But there's a drought on.
Not for us, came the careless reply.
Oh, they're here. Now we can carry on our water fight.
Yeah! Mrs. Camel blamed Mr. Camel for spoiling the girls. No matter that the rest of the world had no water to drink, if Kitty had a notion to be a diving champion, he built her a water park in the garden. If Winnie wanted to water ski, he knocked down the slides and bought a speedboat. That's not fair, sulked Kitty.
I want to be a famous ice dancer.
Out with the speedboat, in with the freezer gun.
Sorry, Winnie.
But Kitty didn't last long on the ice. Whoops. Are you all right, Princess?
It's cold, Daddy.
I love cold, said Winnie. I want a ski slope. So Mr. Camel dammed up the nearest river and diverted the precious water into a snow machine that did the job in no time. This is not right. For as long as Winnie and Kitty hogged all the water, someone, somewhere else, was going without. Then, one morning, the water dried up completely. The taps clanked and shuddered, but no water came out. Kitty and Winnie were furious and refused to go to school.
My clothes are filthy, and my hair is so dirty I look like a pig's ear. In fact, they locked themselves in their bedroom until their parents got it sorted. Just then, a van pulled up outside. Man, I didn't call the plumber. No need. Heard you had a problem. Thought I could help. If it's water from a stone or a lesson that you seek, trust the watermelon plumber for to make the piplets squeak. I'll tell you what the problem is. Ooh, you didn't ought to let your daughters use up all your waters. That's what I've been saying. I told you we'd run out. Mark my words. Sure as sewage flows into the sea, those girls don't change their ways. They'll come to a sticky end. What do you mean, sticky end? Hello, there's something else up here. Watermelon seeds. Watermelon seeds? 1, 2. Well, I can think of worse things to grow in a drought. He was not wrong. Mrs. Camel had an idea. Seeing as none of your friends has anything to drink, let's grow these seeds into juicy watermelons and share them out. The girls were happy to grow the watermelons, but as to sharing their good fortune, that was a different matter. All right, children, I know how thirsty you all are, but today is a good day. Kitty and Winnie have something they want to share with you. Actually, they're not for sharing. These are our watermelons. Not yours. That's right. They're all ours, and they're full of lovely juicy water, which is all ours too. Some of the children hadn't had a drink for 3 days, and you lot can't have them, even if you're thirsty enough to drink your own wee-wee. That's right. So stop crying. Yeah, selfish crybabies. Tears are a waste of water. But that night, as the moon turned a shade of watermelon red, strange things occurred in Kitty and Winnie's bedroom. As the girls slept, their bodies grew until their arms and legs had completely disappeared, and their skin was thick and green. Kitty and Winnie had turned into watermelons. Their parents placed them on the windowsill in the sitting room and watered them to keep them alive. Oh, well, let's be off to work. Me too. Have a nice day. Wait! Shouted Kitty. Don't leave us here in the window for everyone to see. But people can't hear watermelons when they speak. Which meant that when school broke up at 3 o'clock, Kitty and Winnie were sitting in the window for all their friends to see. Only they didn't see Kitty and Winnie. They saw watermelons. It only took one pair of hands and 100 thirsty tongues before Kitty and Winnie were watermelons no more. And if that's not a sticky end, I don't know what is.